Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
Hello, everyone. Actually, I'm Roger Chen from the University of San Francisco and also the Center for Business Studies and Innovation in Asia Pacific, and short for USF CBSI Asia Pacific. So, Alfred, would you please, first of all, I want to thank you for supporting us to join this program. And would you please briefly introduce yourself?
Thank you, Roger. Thank you for inviting me. And this is my honor, and really it's a privilege to be here today. And thanks Heister and thanks Tai to actually have me speak today. I think the last time I actually spoke at a Heister event was maybe 22 years ago, which Heister was just founded. I think I went to a dinner in Cupertino, and I spoke at the dinner. It was very well attended, and so I have extremely fond memories. And it's been a long time, and so thankful to be back. So I was born in Hong Kong, and I was graduated from the University of San Francisco with a computer science degree. And then I went to UC Davis for my graduate studies. And then I got my master's degree from them. And then halfway through my PhD program, I quit and I went to work for Sun. I was at Sun for about just under 9 years. And I founded my own company called BEA Systems. BEA was a very successful venture. So we went public in 4 years and pivoted the company into the web space in the late 90s and reached $58 billion market cap, and eventually got to just under $2 billion in revenue, and sold to Oracle for $9 billion, just under $9 billion during the financial crisis. And then I've done other companies and been very active in investing in the early stage company for the past decade plus. And so about 5 years ago, I started a firm with two other partners focusing on seed stage investment in infrastructure technology. So that's what I've been very focused on in the past few years. I'm having a grand time. This is like 2000 all over again for this AI era. So very thankful to be here. Yeah.
Challenges and opportunities of AI and sustainability.
In another of your posts, actually, it's very interesting. You said a recent study argues that ChatGPT needs to drink, quote unquote, about 500 millimeter bottles of waters for every 20 to 50 questions and answers. I didn't realize before reading this your post, ChatGPT quote drink so much water to do this work. But my actually real question is, does that mean AI, of course, creates a lot of challenges for this, environmental sustainability issues, as well as the innovation opportunities in that space?
Actually, there's a very interesting statistics. I don't know if any of you actually follow energy studies. I do. Actually, I spoke at a conference called One Earth, which is a green conference 2 months ago. So kind of preparing into going to the conference, I was kind of surprised they invited me, really kind of like a software AI stack guy, to go speak in a conference to save the planet Earth. And then I was looking at the International Energy Agency's number, right? And they're estimating how much electricity we're actually using in AI aggregately. And then, you kind of have to look at, actually, I don't look at just what we're using for the H100, A100s, and the competitor, MI400X, and that related type, superscalar stack. I'm actually looking at how much those things are now driving a data center use of energy, right? It's amazing. The number will say, in less than 2 years, so before we enter into 2027, we'll be consuming more than 10,000 trillion watts per hour of electricity. So just to put this in perspective, right? That equates to, or maybe slightly over, what Germany, with 83 million people, is consuming. So AI would consume, just AI in aggregate in data center, will be consuming more energy than all of Germany, with all the 83 million people, than them, on an hourly basis. This is a very frightening thing. So you can almost look at in 2030, likely it will match or exceed any country in terms of consumption, just on the data centers itself. But yet, us techie, I assume most of us in this room here, we don't think about this stuff, right? We just say, don't worry, we would just either dig a bigger hole, somewhere in Saudi Arabia, or we harness, more solar, and they'll be all okay. But the destruction we're doing to the earth It's actually quite serious. So when I got on the stage at One Earth, I thought, oh my God, I'm the bad guy, right, in the conference. So what do I say? Can I please these people so they think we're conscious? So this is actually what I honestly believe. So I think for the longest time, everything can only be fixed if you have data, right? I'm a very data-driven person. I think our world has become a very data-driven person. Everything is very data-driven. But yet in energy, we're terrible at it. So we don't really measure the data of energy use. We only measure the energy uses because of cost. So moving to places that electricity is cheaper. Like you look at all the crypto mining people, they constantly are moving because they're looking at hydro, they're looking at different things because they're looking at lower costs. But we're not really looking at the full picture about what damage is doing to the environment itself. So how do you fix it? It's actually quite simple. Because historically, up to this point, we don't build any of that in our software stack. From the operating system up, from even the microcode, all the way very up to the application. There's no such thing as energy consciousness in this program. This time, we must. As we're building the stack out, the bottom of the system software, people are building specific operating system to operate the next generation of neural network-driven applications. All the way to all the security software, the code generation, the operation software, definitely the application, have to be energy conscious. That's the only way we can fix this problem, and use AIs to curb it. For most of the time, I don't know how many of you sin like I do, we don't turn our computer off at night, do we, right? It's idling, and we're not using the resources either. So we don't really do edge computing to a point where we can recycle the resources, so we can reduce the compute use and also hence reducing the energy use. Those are the kind of things I think humans literally is incapable of. We must have really, I would say, resources that never get tired, which is the AI part of it, to help us do some of these things. I think the opportunity is now we can align green tech, energy tech, alongside with AI as we are progressing so quickly is to solve this problem at the same time. But in these drivers, obviously, I think the people that in the energy field are extraordinarily committed to leverage this time around. So I think there's hope.
So it's interesting. Basically, it's the AI is the cause as well as the solution.
It has to be. It has to be. Because depending on human alone, we know that we didn't get there for all this time. So we have to use a different method. Yeah.
Thank you for watching.